What's going on, y'all? It's me, Ricky Dominguez, and I'm back. I forget what number episode this is, but you can catch it in the title. I'm call this talk. I'm gonna call this "Is it time yet?" Is it time yet? You know, in my most recent years, I'll say the last 10. I've moved around a lot, and one thing or another can signal, it's time. But in this season that I'm in right now, one thing that I go back and forth with is like, Rick, when is it time? I've let some opportunities, I would say, pass me for one or another reason, not feeling comfortable, or I just made it to the place that I'm at now, would cause me to sit still. In the past, I've had experiences where maybe I would say that I've stayed a little bit too long. And I'm at this point in my life where I'm feeling really confident in what I'm doing, and I'm feeling really able, and I've never felt so good and so confident as of right now. So one of the things I question in my mind is it time for me to move on? Is it time for me to take another step, another opportunity, that's been out there to get to where it is that I want to go? Right? So is it time? How do you know when it's time? And I was reminded, as I was thinking about an opportunity, I was reminded about Deuteronomy chapter 7 or 8. I didn't know which chapter it was, but as I reread it earlier, I discovered it was Deuteronomy chapter 7, and in that chapter, God was telling his people about the promised land, and he was saying that I'm going to give you a land, right? I'm going to give you a land. I'm going to give you all this land, but I'm going to give it to you little by little, right? Little by little, because I could just imagine them like, man, just give me everything that's mine. I've had times in my life where I'm like, man, like I want it all right now. Give me the big house, the big car, but as I've grown and matured, I realized that I'm starting to play with the thoughts that, do you really need that? Because I've realized that life is about management, and I'm not trying to waste resources. Those are resources that could be used to do something else. I'm saying if I get a $500,000 house and I got 6 rooms and 3 bedrooms and it's only me and my wife, it's like, what was that for? Could you have used that money for something else? But in Deuteronomy chapter 7, the thing that stuck out to me was he told them that he's going to give it to them little by little, because if not, the wild animals will be too much. And there were a lot of things that I got from that, but the main thing that I got from that was that God has a perfect timing for everything. Nothing is wasted in his hands, okay? And in that, he was saying, if I allowed you all to rid this land of all of its occupants, then what will happen is you'll end up doing double work, right? But in the meantime, while I'm giving you little by little something that you can bite on and digest, I'll let your enemies continue to do your work until you're ready to take their land. And I like that, because when I think about moving around, I say to myself, man, how many more enemies will I attract if I move fast? How much would stop if my enemies knew that I was coming to get their position? And I won't necessarily call them my enemies, but I feel like they're in my spot, right? So if they knew, say for instance, if there was a manager or a regional manager position, I'm just talking in terms of job reference, but you can take it how you want to. If there was a manager or a regional person and he knew that in the next 2 months, Ricky was coming to get this job, would he stop doing what he was doing? Would things take a decline, because he's no longer giving that effort, because he knows that he's about to be replaced, right? And as I was reading Rediscovering the Kingdom by Dr. Miles Monroe, the fullness of time came up, and this all played a part in this video that I'm sharing with you. Is it time yet? And one of the things that they talked about that I would love and I'm going to share with you right now was, what took Jesus so long to come to earth? Like, what was the big wait on? We had all of these prophets, prophesying that the Messiah was going to come, some 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, I can't remember the exact amount of time that went past from the moment that the fall happened until Jesus actually returned, you know, why was everybody waiting? Why do we have to wait? Why didn't he just send Jesus right there? Because it's all about the fullness of time and everything being done in the perfect moment. God has a plan for everything. And what happened, the reason why Jesus was held on, and I learned this, and I just love getting answers. I love getting understanding. The word says, in all you're getting, get understanding. And I know why, man, because it brings such a confidence. It answers your soul's desires. You know, I thrive off learning, and like I tell people, my superpower when I have that competence and I've taken on truth and I know it to be knowledge and it agrees in my spirit, I feel like Superman. But what happened was, the reason why Jesus had to wait is because God is a cold communicator. And what happened is God was waiting on the right time, the right environment. That was right when the Romans were running the world, and they had a kingdom, a government that Jesus could point to and use it as an example so that everybody could get it and understand. Now I can use examples that the entire world know, because at one point Rome ran the world and they used the same infrastructure of a kingdom, of a government. So now it's time for you to come, Jesus. Go back and get to talking that talk. Get to letting them know to repent, for the kingdom of God is here, is near. You know what I mean? So now I can say, I can use references to kingdoms and colonization, and now they'll get it. They'll know, because everybody's experiencing this, because Rome is doing exactly what I had in mind in the first beginning. So the fullness of time. And I'm saying this to say, when I read that, yeah, it was earth-shaking, and it just makes me want to relax and pray to relax and have patience, you know, knowing that God is going to finish what he started, you know, and I just have to be aware, you know, and like the word says, you know, I'm going to trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. I'm going to acknowledge him in all my ways, and he shall direct my path. You know, so earlier today, you know, as I'm biting and chewing on my next move, you know, some people would say, Rick, well, you only been in the position that you're in for 6 months, 7 months. Yeah, but you can't look at time. You can't look at time, you know, and I was in the sauna at the gym, just mulling over some things with God, asking, like, you know, I'm going to give him some time to answer back, sit back, you know, because a lot of times he gives me dreams and confirms some things, or he'll just open some doors, or he'll close some doors, you know. But I just wanted to definitely bring it before him. So I'm in the sauna and I'm thinking, like, God, man, like I you know, I want the title, I want the money, you know, and I've learned that within this job, what's happening is it's preparing me, it's making me a better manager. You know, I'm beginning to see how you could mismanage things, how you can abuse things, how to manage resources, you know, within this job. So I know it's preparing me for something else, you know, or else I wouldn't be seeking it, other than the fact that it's my foundation for providing my foundational needs, right? But I'm totally looking to depart from this, if this is God's will, because I just can't see this job being my end all be all. But it may be something that I always do. I just never know, you know. But like I said, I'm not leaning on my own understanding. I'm gonna see God in all in all my ways, and he gonna direct my path. So I'm in the sauna and I'm chewing on these things, and I'm letting God know, like, man, this is what I want. This is what I see. You know what I mean? Of course, you got the final say. However, he gonna impress it upon my spirit. Is he gonna show me a video? Is he gonna have somebody say something to me? Am I gonna have a dream? Somewhere or another, I expect God to confirm my next move. And I'm saying this to say, because I've had it happen to me before. There was a time when I was transitioning from Nashville to Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I had got myself in between a rock and a hard place. And what I heard God telling me is funny, because my mom sent me a song, and it was by Elevation Worship, right? And it was Wait on You. And it couldn't have been at a more perfect time. And it said, instead of trying to calculate what could happen if I go wrong, how about you just wait? You know, and in that time, I just praised God, and he came through. I had a dream, and in the dream, believe it or not, he said that you were born to be a supervisor. And in that time, no matter what that meant or how I interpreted it, it made me feel good about pressing forward, because I was between a rock and a hard place. And in deciding whether I should continue to pursue being a supervisor or I should try to go back to driving trucks. And when I had that dream, there was confirmation, you see, and I went ahead and I know that my steps are ordered and I'm in the right position. You know, dreams, you know, ways that God confirms his plan for your life, you know, and I'm full because of the endeavors and the encounters that I've had with God. Yes, it's strengthened my faith, you know, and I'm so happy, and I pray often for more encounters, but I'm in there and I'm waiting now. So, you know, I'm at a point where I'm trying to see, but I'm not gonna let an opportunity pass, because I was listening to a video one time that my friend offered to me, and one thing that stuck to me was that she said that God will be with you wherever you go. You know, and that's so real, man. Like, the Holy Spirit is in me. It's not like if I choose to go somewhere that's not necessarily in the will of God, that safe place of God, like he's just going to let me fail. You know, there's going to be experience. There's going to be learning. There's no such thing as loss, you know, or losing, just learning and areas where I get to improve, because that's just what I've seen as I've moved. It's funny because God's timing is so perfect. I could think that I'm ready for this managerial role or this regional manager role, but he shows me every step that he takes me that I needed you to pick this up, right? I needed you to learn how to discipline people correctly. You know, I needed you to learn the importance of taking pictures. I needed you to learn the importance of reporting and communicating. I needed you to let some people torment you and get on your nerves, right? And see how you handle that and note that. I needed you to get into meetings with other managers and see how you handle and interpret it, you know? So every layer, every step that I've taken, it's all been something to make me great, right? And I needed it. Now, in hindsight, I say I needed it, right? So I'm saying in respect, take in everything that you're supposed to or that you can on the level that you are, because it'll help you on your next level, and that's what it's set up for. Okay, so God's timing, man, it's so perfect and he's so faithful, and I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. And I'm gonna let y'all know when I do get the confirmation, because I know it's gonna come, and I'm gonna let y'all know whether he said yay or no, whether the door was open or it was closed, you know. But I'm looking forward to my journey. One thing that I don't want to do is get comfortable, which I'm comfortable now, and I'm not knocking that. 6 months at a new place, I get comfortable, I got it, you know. And one thing that I don't want to do is get so comfortable that I get stagnant. I've never been a person to be like that, but I've known people to be like that. I talk to people and they say, man, it's comfortable, and then I just watch them taper off. That's not me. That's not how I ever want to be. I just want to continue to abound in the grace of God and just continue to be better and better. That's everything that I do. I'm a high performer. How I do anything is how I do everything. So I don't want to get comfortable. I like to get comfortable, but once I get comfortable, it's time for me to get uncomfortable, because that's where growth is. I was shown another thing that really aided me in my understanding of promotion. Number one is God who promotes. Let's be clear about that. But you know how you could be looking at a higher job, and you might be saying, and you might look at the requirements, and you might be saying, well, Dad, you know, there's some things on here that I don't know. And you're like, well, maybe I need to get those together. I seen like a little script or a little video. I can't really recall what it was, but it made so much sense to me, and I wanted to share it with you all. It said that before you take the next step, all you need to know is 60% of that next level. And that changed me, because it said that that's where growth happens. You have to go to that next level and get that other percentage, you know. So don't be discouraged if you don't know everything to apply for another job. That's the whole point of it. You go there and you learn and you grow. If you already knew what you needed for the next job, then that's not even the next job. You basically at the same level. You need to be looking 2 tiers above that, right? So that really encouraged me, and I'm just looking to see what God has next, and I believe that he has next for everybody, because trapped in every person is a hidden leader. You know, you're gonna lead in your realm, gonna lead in your area, gonna lead in your category. So I'm just encouraging people to wait on God's timing, be aware, but be confident. And I'm gonna let y'all know what happened with me. But I'm trusting God's timing. Like I said, I talked to him. I believe I got my point across to him. I'm going to continue to bring it up. I'm going to continue to petition and let him know his will for me was that I'm a lender and not a borrower, you know, and this will empower me, you know, that I could tithe more, you know, that I can aid in the culture of the kingdom here on earth with more finances. And in the meantime, I'm managing the finances that he gave me in a way that pleases him, so he can say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, you know, and take the money from the people who not managing it right and give it to me, because he know if he get it to me, he can get it through me, you know, that type of deal. But that's about it for me. I just wanted to stop in and holler at y'all. I hope y'all found this valuable. Of course, I hope you like, subscribe. I'm gonna keep coming. It's valuable content. It's valuable information. It don't got all of the lights and flashes, but trust me, this real. But just continue to serve your gifts in a way that pleases God to his people, and you'll be all right. I'll holler at you later.